back out in the forest today and trying out a new road. So someone told me that this led into the national forest. We'll see how far it goes, or at least how far I can make it. Well, I don't have a lot of service right here, but my map has loaded just enough to tell me that I might be pretty close to North Carolina right now. So it's funny, I have not seen any signs marking that I'm on the National Forest land, which is a little concerning. This road definitely looks like a, forestry road, and I can see evidence of controlled burn, prescribed burns, just the burnt trunks of trees around. But I think I'm in the forest. I should be, but the problem is a lot of times there's a lot of private property kind of spotted through national forest land. Most of the time it has signs indicating that, private property signs when that is the case, and I haven't seen any for a long time. So I don't know, I'm gonna think it over and hang out here, this little pull-off, for a bit, and maybe stretch the legs a little. Let's hope that I'm on national forest land. Aha. Well, that's what I like to see. That's a forestry gate if I've ever seen one. So, I'm probably not even a quarter of a mile down this road from where I parked. It's not a bad spot where I am, but I might end up moving the van maybe down to this little pull-off, just so I can be absolutely sure that I'm in the national forest. Well, turns out I was just about at the end of this road, so that's pretty cool. I've been walking east, northeast on this road, so going towards North Carolina. I do wonder if this road ends up going on into the NC, but yeah, good to know. Good to know I'm not that far from the pavement, at least on this end. Yeah, so I was thinking about moving the van down to that pull-off. It's definitely my kind of style, definitely the kind of spot I go looking for. And yeah, if there weren't any other options, I think I'd definitely take it. But looking at it a little more closely, it looked like there were a few pretty big trees sort of leaning towards the spots I would have to park. So where it is right now, I feel like is probably a little less risky. There are definitely trees around, but they're not leaning, as far as I can tell, they're not leaning quite as much as those others on that pull off. So I don't know, I guess there's no sense in risking it if I don't have to. Plus, after seeing that National Forest boundary sign, I'm pretty confident that the majority of this road is on National Forest land, so I'm not gonna sweat it too much. I think it's probably gonna be okay where it is. check out all of these tracks in the sand and mud right here. That almost looks like some kind of hoof to me. But then you've got what I'm pretty sure are like dog tracks, some kind of canine. I could be wrong, but that definitely looks like a some kind of canine to me. But even more concerning is this one right here. Oh boy, that's a track right there. For some size comparison. Whoa. You know, it's interesting because a lot of folks will let their dogs, you know, run alongside the vehicle while they're driving. And pretty sure that's the case. It's probably just a really big dog somebody let out to get some exercise and have some fun. But man, if it's not, it's a pretty big dog running around out here. Yeah, thinking about animal tracks makes me think about, yeah, just how little I know about things of that nature. Yeah, like I said, I'm definitely not an expert on this kind of thing. But yeah, no, it's like I've mentioned before, when you're not an expert and you really don't know what it is moving around out there, the sounds you hear, the tracks you find, it really does make it interesting. Just letting your imagination kind of take over. And I hope to get better at identification as time goes on. It's definitely one of my goals, but I can't lie that I kind of do enjoy the mystery sometimes. For example, there have been a couple of nights now where, you know, I'm closed up in the van, maybe the back hatch open, and I'm just about to go to sleep, and I start hearing footsteps, you know, pretty close off in the leaves, you know, within 30 feet or so. Something's walking pretty close. And again, I'm not an expert. So a lot of this is just me imagining what it could be, but it really sounds like, and this has happened at least 2, maybe 3 times now, but it really sounds like whatever it is walking around in the dark is on two feet. And I've talked about this before, how I thought maybe it was a turkey or some kind of bigger bird, you know, walking on 2 feet. But the only thing is, a lot of times when I do hear noises like that, you know, I'll just make some noise. And a lot of times, whatever it is, you can just hear it just tearing off through the leaves and, you know, running away. After I make some vocalizations or shout a little bit. But whatever this is that's walking on 2 legs, it doesn't seem to respond to that. Like, I'll make the noise, I'll start shouting, and it will go away, but it won't be like it won't be running away. Do you know what I mean? Like it'll just kind of casually be, oh, I guess I'm just gonna walk off this way. And sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes whatever it is doesn't clear out of there for a while. And I can never see anything when I put my light out there. But yeah, like I said, it just kind of keeps the mystery alive. I just don't know, you know, what those sounds are. And I don't know, at this point I do kind of enjoy that mysterious aspect of it. But like I said, with time I do very much hope to become more well versed in, you know, the sounds and the tracks and just identifying the animals of this part of the state. So slowly but surely we'll figure out what that is walking around in the dark. Oh man, check out this big old spider right next to that hole in the tree. This thing is probably 4 or 5 inches across. This is a massive spider. When I was coming through here earlier, I did see it and it ran into that crevice. Let's see how close I can get before it runs in. Oh man, wonder what kind it is. I can't believe it's not running in there. Wow. So I got out my little field guide to see if I could figure out what kind of tracks those were in the sand. And just looking at this, you got the coyote, the red fox, and the common gray fox. And that looks pretty similar to those tracks. So I'm thinking it probably was some kind of canine, domestic or wild. But then I see this bobcat track, and it definitely could have been some kind of cat. Although I definitely remember seeing the little claw marks on the ends of the toes there in the tracks. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm not an expert on this kind of thing, but everything's looking like it might have been some kind of dog. Yeah, I tried to find the that spider in here, but unfortunately it looks like this is probably gonna be it for the spiders. So I don't think any of these fellas fit the description. Just a little something to keep the bugs down until I get the fire going. So you know what's really cool? I think that in the 6 hours or so that I've been here, I think one person has driven by that I've noticed. One person in 6 hours. I sure don't mind that. I'll tell you what, I'm really hoping for a quiet, peaceful night. It is Tuesday, so I think that will certainly cut down on the traffic, if not eliminate it altogether. But yeah, hopefully no more mysterious yelling coming from the woods tonight, like in the last video. I wouldn't mind if that did not happen again. I just heard what sounded like a pretty big tree coming down off through the woods there. Man, everything has its day, even the giants. So I don't know if you can hear it right now, but there's a whole lot of rustling going on in the leaves all around. I'm pretty sure it's beetles. I keep seeing these little beetles and all kinds of insects. But the forest floor, the whole forest floor, just starts crawling about this time. Well, it looks like we've got us another beautiful day out here. It was so quiet last night, I'm not kidding. I think that one vehicle I was talking about, I think that was the only one that drove by in the whole time I've been here, so I did not mind that at all. But yeah, just sitting here thinking about what I want to do with the day. Because this section of the forest and this road are new to me, it seems like the options are pretty much limitless. Because just right here on this little pull-off, there's a road that goes down the hill there. And if you've seen any of my past videos, you'll know that I am very fond of seeing where slightly overgrown forest roads go. So I might just walk on down there and see what's up, you know? But yeah, then I'm thinking about that pull off down the road, and it looked like that was the start of a pretty interesting road going on up into the hills. But then also, from the looks of the map, it seems like this road that I'm on right now, once it hits the pavement, it sort of branches out into a whole bunch of other roads, some of them going on over into North Carolina, others kind of looping around here on the eastern border of Tennessee. So yeah, I'm not sure where I'm gonna end up today, but yeah, we'll just see how the cards fall. Okay. Got some power lines. Well, I guess this is as far as I go down this way. Yeah, so I guess that this little road was maybe like a, you know, like a maintenance access point for those power lines, but we gave it a shot. So I'm thinking maybe I'm gonna go look for some some other trails further down the road. Yeah, so after running into those power lines, I'm starting to think that maybe the pull-off up ahead probably does the same thing because it goes in the same direction as that other road. So I might not hike on that one today. I don't have too much gas, but I'm thinking I might try to push on up ahead and see what else I can find. I wouldn't mind coming back here if all else fails by the end of the day, but also wouldn't mind finding a gas station before I keep going. We'll see what happens. Well, it looks like I am headed towards North Carolina, so I don't know how far away it is exactly, but it's gotta be within 10 or 15 miles, so we'll see what happens. Shoot, I don't have that much gas though, so I'm hoping there'll be a station up here along the way. I'm getting to the point where I would need every drop just to get back the way I came, unless I can find something up ahead. So I just found this cool little welcome center and picked up some snacks. So it turns out I'm about 3 miles from North Carolina and about 5 miles from a gas station. And also, I had no idea, but I'm very close to Tellico Plains at this point. Yeah, so on the way south, I ran into the Benton Mackay trail. So figured I'd enjoy it for a little while. Yeah, I've been thinking more about that little beetle that I saw a little while back, rolling its prize up the hill. And it makes me think of a story. Um, it's a story they talk a lot about in existentialism. You might have heard of it. It's called The Myth of Sisyphus. And I don't know the origins of that story, but I'm pretty sure that it was a fellow by the name of Albert Camus who wrote about the myth of Sisyphus. And Camus, one of the existentialists, what he was trying to do was he wanted to sort out how humans find meaning in their lives, how we find meaning in sometimes seemingly meaningless situations. And so he wrote about this Sisyphus character And it's been a while since I've read it, so I'm probably going to get bits of it wrong, so forgive me for that. But as best I can remember, the story was that there was this character, Sisyphus, and I don't know what it was that he did, but whatever it was, the gods were so angry with him. They were so upset that they decided to concoct a punishment that was so torturous that it would cause Sisyphus to just lose his mind. And so what they did was they put him in a situation where he would have to roll a boulder up a steep hill. And that would be a punishment enough in and of itself. Super labor intensive and painful. But that wasn't even close to the full scale of it, because once he got to the top with the boulder, he would have to watch it roll all the way back down. And then he'd have to go get it. And he'd have to do it again and again and again for eternity. Roll this boulder up and watch it roll back down. And the point of the punishment was that there was no point, that it was pointless. It was supposed to be so meaningless that it would be torture, But I can't remember if the myth of Sisyphus was a story all of its own, or if Camus had come up with the majority of the details of it. I'm really not sure, but I think Camus seemed to suggest that we can think about Sisyphus as finding meaning in that task. In order to spite the gods, Sisyphus would be able to find meaning in the meaningless. He would make that boulder his boulder, and he would make climbing that hill his task, Yeah, he would just decide, this is what it is, this is what I'm going to do, and it's going to be meaningful to me. But, yeah, no, I'm sure that little beetle had plenty of meaning. I'm sure it was taking its little ball of goodies to somewhere where it would make very good use of it. But, yeah, no, I couldn't help but think about poor old Sisyphus when I saw it. But it's really interesting that humans are capable of that, that humans are capable of creating meaning, and it's a super subjective thing. What means something to me might not mean very much to the next person, and vice versa, but we have the ability, it seems, to overlay a situation with our own unique meaning. And obviously some situations are easier to find meaning in than others, but I don't know if there are any limits to it. And it really seems like magic that we can do that, that we can look at a situation and create something out of it that means something to us. And a lot of the times, no one else has access to that meaning but you, It's unique. It's closed off to everyone else but you. No one sees it quite like you see it in a lot of cases. But I don't know, I just thought that was cool. It really is like magic when you think about it. Oh man, it's been a while since I found one of these. I think this is some kind of amanita. You know, kind of like the fairy tale mushroom, the red one with the white dots on it that everybody knows. I think this one is in that family, and if I'm not mistaken, which I may be, I think this is either the Amanita persicina or the Amanita pantherina. I don't know for sure, but man, it's so good to see one. Well, unfortunately, I have turned around. I think this road is great, and I'm sure I would find something if I kept going, but it runs right along a river, and it's getting kind of swampy. The bugs have been really bad the past couple of days, even up in the hills where it's really been dry. So I know it would probably be a nightmare contending with the mosquitoes down here where it's so wet. So I'm gonna keep on looking, I think. I have actually just gotten back into familiar territory. So yeah, I'm probably just gonna hit up one of my regular haunts for the night. But it's probably for the best because I do have to work tomorrow, and it'll be good to know exactly how far away I am so that I can plan accordingly. I was actually way further out than I thought, so I think this worked out pretty well. But yeah, because I'm going to probably go to a spot I've already shown you before, I think I'm just going to say goodbye here. But yeah, thank you so much for coming along again, and I guess I'll see you later.